Hey folks, and welcome to Cerveza City, the show where we crush flights across Alberta, one microbrewery at a time. We're joined today by head brewer and co-owner of Cold Garden, Calgary, Alberta, Blake Belding. Blake, thanks for being on the show.
No problem.
Let's get right into it. What's the first beer we're tasting here?
So this is the East Calgary Lager. This is my personal favorite beer that we brew.
All right. Yeah, damn, that is good. Get right into the questions.
All
Cold
right.
Garden has a unique name.
Yeah.
Explain where the name came from.
So when we were naming the company originally, we wanted to make sure that it had some sort of tie to the city. We're really proud of being Calgarians. You know, we wanted to put down our business roots here and kind of give back to the community. So we knew that the name had to be tied to the city. So it's just like many late nights of reading Wikipedia articles or just articles about the city, and I read the story about how the city of Calgary actually got its name. So the city of Calgary is named after a village on the Isle of Mull in Scotland, which is named Calgary. And that Calgary, one of the theories on how it got its names it's from when Vikings used to inhabit that area, and the Norse words called and gart, which mean cold garden. So people think that the Vikings kind of named it called Gart, which means cold garden, and then that kind of morphed into Calgary. So it was one of those late night, 3 a.m. things. I read that, the light bulb went on, sent a text message to all my friends, my business partner, and everyone was like, yeah, that's the name.
Are you part Viking?
No, not at all.
You look like
I know, this hair is like a new thing. This is not what I normally look like, you know, but...
Has anybody told you that you look like Endgame Thor?
Yeah, I've heard that. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that, like, you know, the one where he's like, is that where he's the drunk guy and he's like living in that log cabin? With, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's the best horror.
Yeah.
Cold Garden has one of the most unique interiors of any brewery I've ever been in.
Yeah.
And I'm ashamed to say that's a large amount.
Yeah.
Where did the inspiration for the interior design come from?
It was, I mean, I wouldn't say that there was an inspiration. I think it was lack of inspiration or lack of plan. Me and my partner Dan, when we started this, it was kind of the 3 things we knew were that we wanted to be in Inglewood, we wanted to sell pints for $5, and that we didn't want to hire any sort of design firm to lay out the space. Because I feel like the best plan one of the best strategies for running a business is being honest to yourself. And so this was kind of just an extension of our personalities. You know, we're both creative guys, we like bright colors. I grew up, for some reason, obsessed with fake flowers. And so we just slowly started piecing the place together, and then the community has really rallied behind us, and they come in and they give us decorations. A giant fish hanging up there was a gift from someone in the community. So it's just kind of an ad hoc, like, conglomerate of weird stuff, and that's who we are.
That's fair. Now, Cold Garden has been referred to as the gnome zone in the past.
Yeah.
Can I have the giant gnome?
Absolutely not. You're not the first person to ask. No.
Okay. I just think it would make for a great party decoration.
Yeah.
Party.
So the funny story about the disco pieces hanging from the ceiling, the pineapple, the gnome, and the flamingo, we made those. So I've always wanted a disco pineapple my entire adult life. And it's something you can't just buy. And so there's a local business in town called Foamworks, and she carves the foam for us, and then we buy those mirrors and we glue them on one at a time. So the gnome was the hardest one that we made, and I had many bloody knuckles and sleepless nights gluing all those mirrors on. So there's absolutely no price that would let me give that up.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So we do it every year now for Beer Fest, the Calgary Beer Fest down at the BMO Center, and hang it above our booth. Each different piece, yeah.
Cool. So you have the sign, as soon as you walk into the brewery, this must be the place.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
So we always knew that we wanted some sort of a big neon bright sign for people to see when they walked into the space. We knew we wanted it to kind of elicit a feeling of like welcoming and home and togetherness. And so we were having a hard time trying to figure out what that was going to be, and then we had a light bulb moment, and that This Must Be the Place is a song by the Talking Heads. It's one of my favorite songs. It was actually a song we used to play at the end of every brew day when we were in the garage. Me and my business partners were starting a company. We'd be brewing test batches, working on recipes, and during cleanup we'd always play this song really loud. Everyone would sing. It was just kind of like a feeling of camaraderie. So yeah, at one moment, some point, shortly after we opened, we kind of had that aha, and said that's going to be the sign. And funny thing about it is I get kind of chirped a lot from people being like, oh, that's just such an Instagram thing. You guys are just pandering for likes, and completely untrue. neither my business partner nor I have personal Instagrams, and I hadn't even looked at Instagram before we started this business. It was like my girlfriend had told me that we're going to need to get one, and I was like, no way, man, Facebook's the big thing. And I was very wrong about that. So, I mean, all the likes, those are just bonuses.
There you go.
Yeah.
Even now, Instagram is like the old thing. The kids are taking over TikTok.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
TikTok is the new
Yeah,
thing.
I know. Yeah.
But it's pretty impressive having no Instagram history, no background to grow on a social media following. You have 13.7 thousand followers.
Yeah, I think it's just a testament to that being true to ourselves. Like, I mean, my business partner takes most of the shots with his phone, you know, and for some reason he always picks a phone with the worst camera on it, so they're just like blurry, smudgy. Everything's just real, you know. It's just like you can tell it's authentic, and I think people respond well to that.
13.7 thousand followers. I'm one of them. Cold Garden doesn't follow me back, but that's fine. I'm not bitter.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to ask that joke.
You'll have to teach me how to do that when we're over, and then we can do it.
How did you get the other 800 followers that you're following? It's fine, we're good. Second beer, what do we do? What do we drink?
So this is Cake Face.
This is the Cake
Let's
Face.
do a cheers here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Celebrate.
So Cake Face, it's one of our most beloved beers. There's nothing else out there. Really like it. Just tastes like birthday cake. That's where it gets its name.
Big birthday cake then?
No, this was actually a friend. So a friend of mine, again, just back to the garage. Like most of our core beers were all designed in a garage when we were open as a home brewer. And a friend of mine had drank that East Calgary lager, which we just had, and he drank the next beer we're gonna have, which has vanilla in it, and he was just like, you should make a vanilla lager. And I think he was really stoned at the time. So I was like, that's a really bad idea, but I'll do it for you because you're my best friend and you help me with all this stuff. And everybody instantly loved it. All right, here we go.
What do you think is the funnest part about running a brewery?
Funnest part about running a brewery, aside from the free beer, it's just an endless creative, an opportunity for creative expression. You know, if you have a few $100s to spend at the dollar store and a few hours and some glue, you can make anything, right? And it's just, if you're willing to put in the work, you can just create anything in here, and that's, and people respond to it. I love that.
All right, beer three, what do we got?
So this is the all-nighter vanilla cappuccino porter. It's got coffee, it's got vanilla, it's got milk sugar, it's dark, it's sweet and roasted. It just tastes like drinking a coffee cake. It's a true morning beer.
They think we're filming at night.
Yeah.
What went into the decision of making Cold Garden dog friendly, and how is this even
So,
remotely possible?
well, I mean, I had nothing to do with that, first and foremost. I always tell people, there was three of us that started the company. The other two had dogs. I like dogs, but I've just never owned a dog. And I don't really understand people's relationships with their dogs. So they were like, the dogs, they had their two dogs and they were always here while we were building the place. They were always running around. There's some concrete at the front with our, like, with puppy prints in it, along with our feet. And they were always just said, we're gonna allow dogs, people are gonna love it. And I would say, who wants to bring their dog to the bar? I never understood. So there were two partners, and when we opened, we just allowed dogs in. And that was definitely against the rules. And, sorry, I just got to burp up that all-nighter. Oh yeah. So it's definitely against the rules to allow dogs in any sort of establishment, right? But we did it, and then all of a sudden, Alberta Health showed up here, and they were like, what are you doing? This is completely against the law, and we had to take the dogs away. By that point, it was kind of an established thing that we were this dog brewery, and there was this uproar in the community and in the city, and there was there was CTV News up front, like interviewing customers. We were like, let Cold Garden take their dogs back. So there was a lot of pressure on AHS, and to their credit, they worked with us 100% of the way. Because this was a new zoning thing and a new kind of like microbreweries at the time were this new license that didn't exist before, meaning that you could sit in a place and drink beer, but there was no food preparation and no food service. So the whole reason of not having animals is because of like the food preparation thing. There had been cat cafes and stuff at that time. So we kind of explained that to them, say any food that's in here, people brought themselves. It's like having a picnic, you know, you're allowed dogs in the park. And so they worked with us from the top down. They had to create some new rules, and yeah, they eventually gave us our dogs back a few months later. And it's like, obviously, yeah, it's been a huge successful thing. I try and tell people all the time, they're like, what do you do? And I say, oh, I own Cold Garden. They say, what's Cold Garden? I say, it's a microbrewery. They say, oh, I don't know anything about it. And then I go, oh, that brewery with the dogs. And they say, oh, yeah, my friend told me about that place. So I gotta bring Toto down there. And I'm like, okay.
Everybody loves their dog.
Yeah.
How much dog crap have you stepped in?
In the space, none. Outside of the space, lots. But to notice, people, pick up your dog poop and pick up your cigarette butts, please.
That's a PSA, public service announcement right there. All right, do wings, tacos, or pizza go best with your beer? Pizza, that wasn't even a hesitation.
I just love a pizza fan, yeah.
Felt discriminatory against tacos.
Yeah, I mean, I love tacos. I like, look at me, man. I like all of this stuff, but I just love pizza. And I think it speaks to itself if you open up our recycling dumpster on a Monday. I mean, it's basically just full of without papers and Inglewood pizza boxes. It's just that everybody that comes here, it's the most popular item that gets eaten here.
What was the first beer Cold Garden ever brewed? And be honest, did it taste terrible the first time you brewed it?
Yeah, I mean, so the first beer we ever brewed here in the space, it was some bastardized version of our IPA, which we're going to drink next. And I'd mentioned to you before we started the interview that I had no professional brewing experience before any of this, so that beer was the first time I'd really brewed on a professional brewing system. And there's a lot of things that are different than a home brewing system. And so one of the things you do before you put beer in a fermenter is you cycle a bunch of like no rinse sanitizer through it, which is kind of like a strong vinegar type solution. It's, and you're supposed to drain that out of the tank before you put the beer in it, but I didn't do that. So we brewed our IPA and into the tank it went, and I would try it every day and I was like, this tastes terrible, what have I done? Oh my God, like we've just spent all of our money and we have this 5-year lease, this is gonna be bad. And then the next time I brewed, which was about 5 days later, I realized at that time when I went to drain out the tank that I had forgotten to drain the tank the previous time. So the very first batch of beer we brewed got dumped down.
Well, let's taste the now IPA.
So this now since then has won a gold medal at the Canadian Brewing Awards for the best IPA in Canada.
Wow, in Canada.
In Canada. They haven't announced the awards for this year yet, so technically it's still the best IPA in Canada. It's very
impressive.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste like sanitizer.
Yeah, no.
Gotta be honest.
We sprinkle a little bit in at the end now.
On August 23rd, you posted a picture of 250 pounds of Skittles.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch levels of Skittles. And then you concocted a Pride Week beer. How important is it to Cold Garden that you guys voice your brand for social causes such as LGBTQ+ and other things? How do you avoid the narrative that the outside perspective is just that you're doing it for publicity?
The narrative thing, there's no avoiding that. People are always going to assume that, some people are always going to assume that businesses are, working towards social causes for publicity. But I think anybody that comes here and knows Cold Garden will know that's not the case. One of the main tenets of our business is inclusivity and, welcoming everybody. And we kind of say democratizing craft beer, making craft beer for everybody, making a space for everybody, and kind of somebody from every walk of life you'll find it here at any given day. In terms of the importance, it was of utmost importance, in our personal lives before we started the business is kind of, being towards many different social causes, the LGBT community, one of them. And so having this business and having a lot of followers and being a popular space gives us a voice that we want to use, and we want to use it for the right thing. So whenever there's something going on like that, we try and get involved, and we'll reach out to members of that community and get them involved in the process. The Skittle beer was actually an idea by one of the founders of the Calgary Pride Parade. We sat down with him to consult with him before we made the beer, said, what kind of beer do you think we should use? What charities do you think we should donate to? And he gave us some ideas, and the Skittle thing was completely his. So now, me as the brewer, somebody's like, all right, now go figure out a way to put Skittles in the beer. And I was like, okay, here we go.
And you say charity, so break it down for me. Did the Pride beer?
Yeah, portions of the Pride, the sales from Taste the Rainbow, it was called, went to the Skipping Stones Foundation here in the city.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar actually with the Skipping Stones Foundation.
Yeah.
Reason being is an incredible comedian from Fort McMurray who identifies as transgender. Opened for Hannah Gatsby at Just for Laughs, and we were working together to try to put together a show with all the proceeds going to Skipping Stones. So they do incredible work.
Yes.
It's awesome.
We did that beer 2 years in a row, and I'm sure we'll do it again this year.
It's awesome. Yeah. And a shout out to Cindy Rivers up in Fort Mac. All right, that's the interview portion. Here on Cerveza City, we always work in a game. We're gonna play Flip Cup today. Rules of the game are simple. Chug the drink, you flip the cup, and it's gotta land right side up.
Okay.
Okay? Move on to the next cup, move on to the next cup.
Okay.
First one to finish 3 cups wins.
Okay.
Okay? We'll cheers, we'll tap, and we'll go.
Okay, so in case anyone from the AGLC is watching, we have kombucha and coffee only in these cups, correct?
I was gonna say water, but I didn't fill the cups, so. Juice and kombucha. Juice and kombucha?
Sure.
Cool. All right.
All right.
That didn't look like kombucha.
Oh man, it's like college all over again.
Kombucha's making it top heavy.
Oh, I got juice in my hand tip.
Come on.
Victory!
Damn. That was good. That was good. All right, that's our show, but because it's the first episode here on Cerveza City, and because Cold Garden has a beer called Cake Face, we thought we'd go to Custom Cakes by Sea and get our own very cake to celebrate the first episode. Sarah, do you want to bring that cake in? It's a cake that's a beer mug with a comedian on it. I don't think I'm quite that light skinned, but we're gonna have cake.
Let's do it.
The last 60 seconds are yours. Tell the cameras whatever you like, man.
Come on down to Cold Garden, bring your dog, and yeah, support craft beer in Calgary. Thanks.
I want to thank the entire Cold Garden staff. I want to thank Blake and the owners. This has been Cerveza City. Check in next week when we're at High River Brewery. Thanks. Good night.